Yo, guys, I hope you're well. Yo, guys, it's kind of fitting that Oasis announced their reunion and comeback tour on the day that Starmer the Destroyer has announced to Britain that his plan to destroy our country not only needs two terms, but also needs to be and to start immediately and with a budget in October that will hurt us to the core. So, Oasis reforming reminds many of us of our youth and of better days and better times, filled with happiness, hope, and faith, and in a better and brighter future. Well, Starmer the Destroyer brings none of this. I associate Starmer the Destroyer with despair, gloom, and discouragement. A black cloud is never far away when Starmer the Destroyer is near. He sucks the very air out of any room he enters, and nothing and no one can thrive in his presence. Starmer the Destroyer talked a lot in his speech today, but actually he said very little. He said absolutely nothing on immigration, but yet he wishes and he believes he can bring this country back together, united as one. ROFL and ROFL again. There was nothing of much substance, a lot of platitudes, backed up by more words and blarney, but nothing concrete. So Starmer the Destroyer was trying to justify why he ostracised half of the population with such relish, using a sledgehammer to crack a couple of nuts, whilst at the same time portraying us as some sort of pernicious boogeymen, plotting, scheming, and conspiring against the authorities, instead of as a spontaneous and hot headed reaction to a tragic attack on young kids. This man couldn't read a room, even if it came with instructions. And yet he has the gall to think he will unite this country. Nope, we will never forget, and neither will we forgive. Starmer the Destroyer has created a rift and a wedge in our beloved country, and why? Only he can tell us, as he conducts a talk to the hand attitude when we wish to have open, honest, and direct debate on what is concerning most people of this nation, immigration, and all those contributory factors around it. And yet, this P.T. Barnum character welcomes with open arms anyone and everyone he considers a friend, whilst we are clearly the enemy. And he opens up his bag of sweets and offers anything and everything from the top tray and the middle tray with a take anything you want, there's a lot more from where that came swagger. Whilst he looks down at us as scum and he shoos us into a corner with the heel of his boot so we can neither be seen nor heard. Please do not listen to his words. The P.T. Barnums of this world play a great game of look at this hand, but please do not look at the other hand. And that is what Starmer the Destroyer is doing. By the time the scene clears, it will be too late and the damage will already be done. So my suspicions were raised when he headed up the DPP all the way back before the 2011 riots. And he's proven to be a lot worse and far more dangerous than I ever imagined he could be. Now he has the reins of our country in his hands. I'm horrified that this man stood in the Rose Gardens in front of a hand-picked, selected bunch of head nodders and actually portrayed himself as a uniter of people and a uniter of this nation, when he has done more in less time to divide and break up this union than any gunpowder plot and any armada over the last 500 years. Ladies and gentlemen, this is only the beginning of his plan, and things truly will get worse. A lot worse. That is true. So guys, we're going to check out a little bit of Starmer's speech that he gave the people in the Rose Garden earlier this morning. Just want to check out some of the speech, people, because, yeah, I just want you to see it. Let's go.
This government won't always be perfect. But I promise you this, you will be at the heart of it, in the forefront of our minds, at the centre of everything that we do. And that's why I wanted to invite you here today.
So he says that we will be at the centre and the forefront of the government's thoughts. Of course we will be. They're looking to make a lot of changes that will affect us. But I doubt any of them will be positive changes, people. I think they'll be mostly negative. So he's invited the world into the rose gardens to check out his plan of action. Really?
To show that decent, hard-working people who make up the backbone of this country belong here.
Do you hear what he just said? The decent, hard-working people who make up the backbone of this country belong here. So to me that translates as the common sense majority who work hard, pay their taxes and are bullied and kicked by the likes of this guy here, Starmer the Destroyer. The very same people who Starmer the Destroyer insulted and who this country relies on to function. Starmer has done more in 7 weeks to alienate and to divide this country than anyone, and also take away our free speech, I forgot about that, than anyone has done in 7 years. So when he says the decent, hard-working people who make up the backbone of this country belong here, what does he actually mean? Guys, let me know down here in the comment section, because when I saw that, I felt infuriated, really infuriated. So he said the decent, hard-working people who make up the backbone of this country belong here. What does he mean? What does he mean? Because if he means that he supports the people who are the decent, who are hardworking, who do make up the backbone of this country, his actions definitely didn't support it. Definitely didn't support it. So I would love to know, what do you think that Starmer the Destroyer means by that? Decent, hardworking people make up the backbone of this country. I would really love to understand what he actually means by that, because his words and his actions do not correlate. They never correlate, ever.
This is a government for you. A garden and a building that were once used for lockdown parties. Remember the pictures just over there?
So once again, it's the name and shame and blame culture. Name, shame and blame.
The wine and the food. Well, this garden and this building are now back in your service.
So what does he actually mean when he says you and your? I would love to know what he means by you and your, because language has changed a lot in the last few years. So what I understand and what I've been taught is you and your. I'm not sure if it resonates with this chap here. I really don't know. I really don't know.
It's not just that the last government relied on easy gimmicks and bad ideas. Those things happened precisely because the government itself lost its focus on the hopes and ambitions of working people. During those recent riots, I made huge asks of the police and of the criminal justice system. People already stretched to the limit. They knew I was making big asks of them, and I'm not going to apologise for it.
So reading between the lines, when he says I'm not going to apologise for it, it means I'm not going to apologise for calling half the nation's right as far right thugs. And I'm neither going to apologise for what I did. And I'll do it again in a heartbeat. Really?
But let me tell you this. They delivered.
Let me tell you this. They delivered. So the plan was put into place and put into action, and the plan delivered. On point. On point, people. We are now under the heel. under their heel, and things will only get worse from here. So, guys, I was going to cover a bit more of this, but to be honest with you, I'm fuming. I'm fuming, angry with this chap here. He had another opportunity to make some sort of reconciliation with the people. He hasn't. This man couldn't read the room, even if you provided him with instructions. He cannot read a room, and he goes out of his way to upset and undermine great swathes of people. He has a penchant for this. He does it all the time, and he doesn't care that he does it. So to be honest with you, I've no more time for this person. No more time. So if you want to watch the video, you can check it out online and see what he's talking about. But people, let me know in the comments section. I'm really fuming, mad, angry with this person, angry as anything, and I don't want to say anything that will get me into trouble. So I was going to talk a bit more about this video, but I'm raging. I'm raging. So guys, anyway, look after yourselves, look after each other. Let me know what you think in the comment section, guys, but please make sure and make certain to come back to the next Urb'n Barz reaction, guys.